Back at it again, but this time in Orlando, Florida. Let's talk internal travel nurse contracts. In my very first video, just one video ago, in case you missed it, I talked about Houston, Texas, and the internal travel nurse contracts offered there. But by popular demand, again, we are going to Orlando, Florida. And by popular demand, I mean the Facebook group for nurses that is titled Internal Travel Nurse Contracts for Nurses/Nursing. So if you are not a member of that, you can find the link to that group in my description below. But other than that, let's get into it. Let's go into Orlando, Florida. First up is Advent Health in Orlando. And just like Houston, I went to Google, typed in Orlando hospitals, Houston, I typed in Houston hospitals, and I went through every single hospital in the Orlando area. Advent was the first hospital that came up on my list, and once I went to the careers page, there were 99 results when I typed in travel nursing, but none of them had travel nursing on them. From there, I went to type in internal travel nursing and found nothing again. I was, however, able to find float pool positions, but no travel nurse positions. So moving on from there, I then went to the Orlando VA Medical Center. And going into this, I kind of already knew the answer whether they would have internal travel contracts or not, because let's talk about it. It's the government. They're slow. We all know the VA historically is pretty behind in this kind of stuff, so I wasn't hoping to find a contract there. So again, went to the careers page, and there were only 24 openings for nursing at that entire VA hospital. But of course, none of them being internal travel nurse contracts. So now I'm 0 for 2. Looking for Orlando contracts, but on my third try, I did have success. Well, I guess it was my fourth try, because on my third try, I tried to look up Florida hospital and I was super confused, but I found out that Advent Health bought out Florida hospital. So really, Advent Health has pretty much monopolized all of Orlando, it seems like. So moving on from there, I came to my fourth search, which is where I had success, and that is at Orlando Health, Orlando Regional Medical Center. Now let me just say this, they seem to have monopolized the entire area as well. So you have Orlando Medical Center and you have Advent Health. That's almost like your only two options in Orlando besides the VA Center. Now when you first click onto Orlando Regional Medical Center's website or Orlando Health, the first thing you see is that they have 14 different ER care centers. Talk about a big company. And as soon as I opened up their careers page, they had over 571 nurse openings. So again, I narrowed it down, looked for travel nursing, looked for internal travel nursing, and I wasn't having any success. But then I found the OH Travelers Program. Now, clicking on this, you can see here on the screen, there is not much information that they give you about the Orlando Health Travelers Program. It doesn't talk to you about how long the contracts are, it doesn't give you any kind of pay information, not really any kind of benefits information. They talk about a little bit of pay, but they don't say who is able to get the shift differentials. They just say if you qualify. So there wasn't much that they were willing to give on this job posting. And I would say this is super frustrating as nurses, as a nurse, trying to go out there looking for job openings, but the hospitals and companies aren't willing to give us that information up front. And then it also doesn't help that HR is incredibly hard to get a hold of any hospital, it seems like these days. But after doing all of that research, I researched more and I could not find any other hospitals that offered internal travel nurse programs in the direct Orlando area. But I wanted to make sure I did my due diligence, so I wanted to compare what I found to what was posted on the group page on Facebook that I had already talked about with you in the beginning of this video. And on there, it did say that Advent Health offers some kind of like travel nurse program, but it's not actually a travel nurse program. It's called Flex, which some of you may have heard of before. I know the hospital I'm working at right now has a Flex program, but that's not the same as internal travel nursing, so I'm not going to count that they offer it. And then lastly, again, I want to do my due diligence just one more time because I was shocked that there was not a lot out there in Orlando, because it's a great place to vacation to in the winter time. A lot of nurses want to get away from the cold in the winter, go down south, so you would think they would have something like that, but not really. So I checked the list again on the internal travel nurse contracts for nurses and nursing, and nothing else was on the list for Orlando. So to recap, of the 3 hospitals that I was able to look up in the Orlando area, or 3 hospital systems that I was able to look up, only one of them, Orlando Health, offers internal travel nursing, and they're not really willing to give you that much information on the website, which again is so unfortunate. So do you know of any internal travel nurse contracts or programs in the direct Orlando area? If so, please comment below. If you have worked one of them, please also comment below. I would love to hear from you. I'm sure people viewing this video would love to see that and hear from you too. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and hit that little notification bell and the thumbs up button as well. That would help me out a lot and I would appreciate it. Other than that, have a great day. I'll see you in Thursday's video, and adios.